Okay. Good evening, everybody. I'd like to call to order the Town of McCandless meeting of Town Council for December 18th, 2023. If all of you could join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God,
indivisible.
Thank you, everybody. As we always start, we will work together to better our town this evening. We all have an equal voice. We may disagree, but we will do so with civility and respect because in the end, we are all neighbors. Announcements, council held executive session prior to this at 7 p.m. to discuss personnel matters. No actions were taken. As we're nearing the end of the year here, we'd like to recognize those of our fellow citizens that have volunteered on committees, authorities, and boards. And I would just like to thank each of them for who are rolling off the boards at the end of this year. The Activities Advisory Committee, Christine Shipley, Terry Seaman, Dawn Nelson Hart, Libby Blackburn. For the Financial Development and Promotion Committee for the Heritage and Cultural Center, Chuck Eierman. For the McCandless Franklin Park Ambulance Authority, Tyler McCardle. For the Planning Commission, Jonathan Hall. For the Technology Advisory Committee, Joe Byerly and Lamar Williams. And for the Zoning Hearing Board, Craig Schenker and Scott Shifkins. I'd like to thank each and every one of them for their hours of volunteer time for the town. We certainly appreciate their.
Abby Lacoste.
Oh, I'm sorry, Abby under the Financial Development. Yes, thank you, Abby Lacoste as well. Did I miss anybody else? I apologize. No? Okay. There you go. Holidays are approaching. Town offices will be closed on the 25th and 26th and will reopen on the 27th at 9 a.m. Okay, public comment on any agenda items. We see a lot of regulars in the crowd. Step on up, name and address.
Irene Caliendo, 411 Hawk. I would just like to take a second and acknowledge the council people who are leaving. Councilwoman Eisenreich, Councilman Tarl, Councilwoman Rafa. I appreciate the time and the effort and the dedication that you've put in over the last years. It's sometimes a thankless job, I know. For all those times you wanted to roll your eyes and walk away and didn't. And for all of those times that you wanted to tell the person you were speaking with, he or she had no idea what they were talking about and didn't. And for all those times that you thought you could not go on for one more minute, but did. I do appreciate your work. I didn't always agree with you. If you'd like a laundry list of those times, we can meet for coffee later. But I admire the work and the time. And I just wish everyone in the town of McCandless understood what it took to do something like you have all done. And I appreciate the time of everyone on council. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, any further public comment? Seeing none. The meeting minutes from our December 11th meeting was included in everyone's packet. Does anyone have any revisions to that?
One, at the end, the appointment of Mr. Seaman to the MTSA, the second was by me. I'm not sure who was in there.
Noted. Any other revisions? No. Floor is open for a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting of town council minutes December 11th, 2023.
As noted.
As noted.
Yes.
Thank you.
Second, Dr. Rampa. Everyone in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Reports of committees, administrative and finance. Mr. Casey, can you run through that for us?
Ms. Greathouse, would you please walk us through?
Good evening, council. Everyone received the check listing within their packet. I'm happy to entertain any questions that you may have had at this time.
Okay, no questions then. I'd like to make a motion to approve check listing number 11 dated November 1st, 2023 to November 30th, 2023, totaling $1,311,147.79 as submitted to each member of council and posted on the bulletin board and town website.
Second.
Second, Trish. Everyone in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
Okay.
Motion carries. Continue.
Let's review the financial summary and dashboard report, please.
Again, council has received the dashboard and financial report for the month of November. We are currently at 98% of revenues and 79% of expenditures for 2023. December is a month that has more expenses over revenues, but I do anticipate that we will be within budget for both and have a remaining balance to carry forward to 25 for capital projects. Does anyone have any questions on the dashboard report?
Good, thank you. Appreciate your effort. Communications report, Brian?
Communications report was in your packets. And make one note, we're extremely close to getting 5,000 followers on the town Facebook page and hopefully the current holiday decoration contest might put us over that since it's definitely gotten some engagement.
Great, thank you. Liaison reports, McCandless Industrial Development Authority, Dr. Rappa. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed junior council. I should put my glasses back on.
Yeah. E. Carson. Yeah.
Good evening, council. I think Carson and I just want to say thank you for the past 2 months. And as the end of the year approaches, we look forward to the next year and working with you. We have a short report that tonight we wanted to say Music at NA, all music programs, orchestra, band, and chorus held their winter concerts. And for the senior high key club, we were slow to start, but with the holidays approaching, we found their footing and we have participated over 800 volunteer hours for our club for the local winter fest and cross country races.
And for North Allegheny football, the football team reached the PIAA finals this weekend for the first time in 11 years. While they were defeated by St. Joseph's Prep, a team that had appeared for 10 years at finals, they ended with a fantastic season of a record of 13-2. And finally, for National Honor Society, members of NHS have continued to volunteer at Hozak intramural activities and tutoring for Ingomar, Hozak, and Marshall elementary schools. Additionally, NHS ran its annual blood drive, which was a great success. Seeing so many members helping run the event and donating was fantastic. And finally, we hope you all have a great holiday season and a happy new year. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, now liaison reports. The mid-report, Dr. Rappa.
No reading.
Okay. Mr. President,
No, North Hills Cog meeting.
that was easy.
Yeah.
Are there any public comments on administration and finance committee items? Okay. Then, where's Mary Ann? There she is. Okay. Board of Planning and Zoning Committee, Ms. Eisenreich.
Staff reports, RJ.
Good evening, everyone. I'll keep this one really quick. We have the same two plans that we were talking about last month, the Schultz Lincoln EV dealership, as well as the Walnut Court Phase 2 townhome block. Both came back to the Planning Commission this month. There was a lot of discussion. I think it was productive discussion, but it did not get either of those plans out of the Planning Commission. So we'll be continuing to review those next month. We have revisions in for one of the plans. Keeping an eye out for a set for the others. So if any of you have any questions about those, happy to answer them. But like I said, not really much to report.
Are the neighbors being advised?
Of
Any changes? Like I know they were looking at slope and things. I don't know if
yeah, so I mean, which one are you talking about specifically?
Peter.
I mean, I guess the answer is the same for both, but we do require when stormwater management features are being proposed that, basically before they actually start construction, they have to send letters notifying that there are stormwater features being installed. But other than that, for a typical plan that is not a rezoning, or, something that's a little more arduous, there aren't explicit notification requirements for neighbors. I do know that on Walnut Court, one of the neighbors called me. So, so they're aware of that. And I've seen a couple folks that have come to the meeting that appear to be there for the Schultz plan. So I'm under the impression the neighbors are aware, but there's no additional notification required.
Okay,
I'd like to add a point to that. Our town engineer has made a point with some of the stormwater and infiltration specifically related to the neighbors to make a point at those meetings. So that was a point
Yeah.
of order that our engineer is watching out for the neighbors as well.
Yeah. There,
Good.
and I guess I'll elaborate on that because that was part of a pretty good discussion at the meeting. There are definitely still some questions that we have, particularly on the Schultz EV plan, about, what exactly the downstream impacts are. They want to drain to basically in the back of the whole development, there's a storm drain that we own to connect into our system. And so we're looking for some additional data on, not just what was going on pre-development of the whole entire Ashley Hill neighborhood, but, what's going to happen if they build things as proposed. I think we weren't quite satisfied with all the information that they gave us last month. So I know our engineers have been continuing to work with them to get them some data so that they can have sort of a jumping off point.
good. By the way, I don't know whether it was your report or whether it was the engineer's report, but they had him as Schutz for it, S-H-U-T.
Not me.
Schultz.
It's Schultz.
Okay,
I have the L.
thank you.
Anything else? Great. All right. That's it.
Thanks, RJ. Liaison reports, Planning Commission, Jason.
Just to reiterate again, hats off to our planning director and our town engineer. They're really diving into these things, making sure all their T's are crossed and their I's are dotted, watching out for our neighbors and our constituents. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Zoning Board, Trish.
There was no meeting in November.
Okay, thank you. Public comments on Planning and Zoning Committee items.
Don't see
Having seen, don't see any, I'll turn it over to Ms. Clunin for Recreation Committee.
Thank you. We'll begin with liaison reports from the Finance, Development and Promotional Committee for the Heritage and Cultural Center. That's Eisenreich.
We did not meet this month. There was, however, a holiday party for volunteers on Friday.
Thank
That's
you.
all.
And I would just like to make a comment about the Winterfest. I believe everybody who worked hard on that, including Public Works, our Recreation Department, and everyone who had a hand in that. I thought it was a great event. I appreciate that. Are there any public comments on recreation? Hearing none, move to the town manager's report.
Town manager's report was sitting here at your desk and sent to you via email. If you have any questions, please let me know. I would note one thing, kind of one of those infrastructure projects that not a whole lot of people see, but are very important. We are currently working on some restoration work under Blazer Drive. That is an important project on Pine Creek watershed that helps to maintain that roadway for many, many years. That is getting closer to completion. So if you continue to see all the work being done at Blazer Drive and Ingomar, that is an important infrastructure project for the town.
Any questions for Brian? Hearing none. Engineers report. Does anybody have any questions for Kelly?
Yeah, I do. What is a hammerhead?
You're gonna make her day.
Because you got it listed for two different developments for the Williams site as well as Walnut Court.
So a hammerhead is an alternative to a cul-de-sac. It's kind of like if you look at a hammerhead shark, you would have an area that you could pull forward into and then back out of. So it doesn't take up as much surface area as a cul-de-sac.
I was just thinking of a hammerhead.
They're not permitted by default in the new Saldo. You can request them through a modification, but the Saldo by default expects an old spec.
It's important for our public works in the winter and being able to turn our trucks around.
And the fire department.
Yeah.
School buses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, provides a good turnaround point for them if there isn't a cul-de-sac present.
Anything else for?
I
our
have other
engineer?
questions, but I can't read my writing. What's the Rachel Carson Eco Village?
That's an item that will be on an upcoming planning commission, I believe, in January, right? That's just, if you would prefer to. I'll keep it. Yeah, you go ahead.
Sorry, I'm just sending over your report. So, yeah, this one is very preliminary. That's why I jumped in because we don't have engineered plans yet and we won't unless there's a rezoning that is approved. That's gonna be coming to the planning commission next meeting. It is slated for the property that we subdivided off of the Sisters of Divine Providence back when we did the new facility, you know, with the wooded area, kind of when you're right across from Passavant. Really interesting concept. I mean, obviously, we'll see how the rezoning discussions go, but potentially it would be some duplexes and 3 units that would be able to be built without cutting down most of the trees on the site. The Eco Village is a type of development that we don't really see in Western Pennsylvania yet. I think we might be one of the first if we do end up approving the rezoning and the application is successful. But it's sort of, I guess what you would describe as an intentional community of people that choose to try to live in a more green and also neighborly way. I guess, you know, there's not like a driveway that goes right to your front door. You have to walk through the plan to get to a parking area so that you run into your neighbors on the way. And again, it can, you know, depending on how it's designed, preserve a lot of the environmental features of the site. So
Interesting.
yeah, just in the concept stage, we don't take engineered plans unless they can actually make an application, which until potentially there's an approved rezoning, it could not. So
I'm gonna ask one last question. I'm sorry. This is to you. Well, it goes to both of you. I see that you had a discussion on November 15th with Starbucks about a sidewalk. Are we gonna get a sidewalk at Starbucks?
Yeah, so right now we have them approved for a temporary occupancy. It's very typical to issue those when they're just landscaping and, you know, basically items like a sidewalk, you know, things that are kind of weather dependent. So they did open just the other week. I'm told that the drive-through is busy, but so they have a request that they want to present to the planning commission either for a waiver or an alternate configuration. We don't have the exhibit for that yet, but it will be in the packets for the planning commission. As approved, they have to build the sidewalk that was shown on the plans. They can come back and ask for a waiver or, you know, an alternate configuration. But that's functionally a modification request, so it would be up to your discretion to approve it.
Great. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Thanks, Kelly.
Any more for our engineer? No. Hearing none. Town attorney's report.
Our report was in the packet. Happy to answer any questions, but probably better discussed in executive session.
You've said that
Thank you.
before.
Yeah. We have no old business and new business tonight. The first one, Trish, I think we've been introduced to this. Just give us a brief recap. And
Sure. This is the item that was under public hearing last meeting. There were no comments from the public and there have been no changes since last meeting. It is as described previously. Any questions?
Motion to adopt tentatively identified ordinance 1546, amending ordinance numbers 1529 and 1543, reappropriating certain monies for fiscal year 2023.
Second.
second, Mr. Casey. Everyone in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that motion carries. The next, police pension.
This is a housekeeping item. It is required under the plan and the charter to set this rate annually. It is set at the max at 5%, and it is consistent with the last number of years and contracts.
I'll make a motion.
Casey,
I'd like to make a motion to adopt tentatively identified resolution number 22 of 2023, establishing the rate of participation or of participant contributions of the town of McCandless Police Pension Plan at 5% for 2024.
do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Ms. Clunin. Everyone in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, that motion carries. You'll take
The
this one
next,
too?
the next item is the competitive bid resolution. Again, a housekeeping item set by the charter. It is based off of the 2023 budget, which currently after the two budget amendments will be 18,439,925. The charter sets this rate for the town manager to approve and execute contracts on behalf of the town involving sums of not more than 1/4% of the previous year's final budget of the town. That amount for 2024 is $46,100. Any questions?
Seeing none. Floor is open for a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Ms. Clunin,
Motion to adopt tentatively identified resolution number 23 of 2023, establishing the amount when competitive bidding shall not be required for contracts for labor, material, supplies, or services.
second.
Second.
Second, Mr. Casey. Everyone in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay. That one carries. Brian, you want to take D? That's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, the next resolution is the schedule for our public meeting. With some adjustments based on calendar events and holidays. The resolution was in your packet. And I'm looking for
Any,
approval of what has been advertised.
any questions? No, none? Okay, go ahead, Dr. Roberts.
Make a motion to adopt tentatively identified resolution number 24 of 23, setting dates of various meetings of the town council and other town agencies for the year 2024.
We have a second,
Second.
Mr. Casey. Everyone in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, that motion carries as well. Okay, who wants to take the next one?
The next one is based on ordinances passed by previous councils. The town awards volunteer firefighters a earned income tax credit or a real estate credit for their service to the town as part of the volunteer fire companies. You received in your packets Ingomar and Highlands. I also put at your place Peebles list for this evening. We have to annually pass by resolution these individuals so that we can forward it to Keystone and keep it for our records for property taxes and earned income tax refunds for the 2023 year.
Any questions? Being none, floor is open.
I'll make a motion to adopt tentatively identified resolution number 25 of 2023, approving the eligibility of certified members of the volunteer fire companies serving the town to receive an earned income tax credit not to exceed $500 or a real estate tax credit not to exceed $300 for 2023 tax year prior, ordinance 1509 and 1516.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, yep. Okay, Mary Ann, second. Everyone in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Town fees.
The town fees, also something we do yearly. This sets the various town fees for the calendar year 2024. Some minor changes in there to address actual cost of staff involvement. Other than that, pretty standard per usual.
Okay. Any questions of Brian? No? Okay. Floor is open for a motion.
Motion to adopt tentatively identified resolution number 26 of 2023, establishing a master resolution to govern various town fees and charges.
Second.
Second, Ms. Clunin. Everyone in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Okay. That motion carries. Next up, we have developed a memorandum of employment with our town manager. Is there any more I need to say about that, Steve? No? Okay. It was in everyone's packet.
I'll make a
Floor is
motion.
open. Okay, go ahead, Jack.
Motion to adopt memorandum of employment with town manager.
Second.
That was Ms. Clunin. Okay. Everyone in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay. And that motion carries. Next up, Do you wanna?
Yeah, I think I'll just address, we put this as a possibility if there was council action needed. That was part of our executive session, discussing personnel before the meeting, after. Consulting with our town attorney. There's no action that is needed on this item.
Okay. So that's all we don't need to vote to table it?
No, sir.
No, very good, thank you. Okay, next up, Personnel Board, you want to touch on?
Yes, so the personnel board had a couple of applicants, and unfortunately, we were not able to schedule all of the interviews before this meeting. So at this point, I would ask for council to table this appointment.
I'll make a motion to table the personnel board appointments.
Second.
Second, everyone in favor? Signify by
Aye.
saying.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? Okay, that motion carries. Okay, next up, we have some vacancies on our authorities and boards. Ms. Clunin, do you want to run us through those?
Yes, thank you. I'd like to start with a motion to appoint Stephen Solman to the McCandless Franklin Park Ambulance Authority for a term ending December 31, 2027.
Any seconds?
Second.
Second, Dr. Rapa, everyone in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? No, okay. That motion carries.
Thank you. Moving on to a motion to appoint Mark Sullivan to the McCandless Franklin Park Ambulance Authority for a term ending December 31, 2028.
Second.
Second, Mary Ann, everyone in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay. That motion carries. Next up, Trish.
Okay, moving to the zoning hearing board, I'd like to make a motion to appoint Scott Metzger to the zoning hearing board for term ending December 31, 2026.
Second.
Second, Dr. Rapa, everyone in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, and that motion carries. Last one.
And I'd like to make a motion to appoint Dr. Arthur Nussbaum to the zoning hearing board as an alternate for a term ending December 31, 2024.
Second,
Second.
Dr. Rapa, everyone in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay. Motion carries. Okay. Mary Ann, you're remote, so we have a little thing for you. But
I'm sure Brian can take it.
okay. Mary Ann, on behalf of council, I want to thank you for your service, your experience with the governor's office, all those years you spent there. Your experience with government has really helped the town. Your experience with nonprofits and fundraising and helping us get, all that legalese straight was really appreciated. You were a really valued member and we appreciate all your time here. Wish we were here in person to take a photo, but we'll give it to Brian here and you can.
Okay. Thank you.
Kathy, you want to come out there and get a picture?
Yeah.
No? Yeah, come on. Gotta get a picture. Gotta get a picture.
Mike, you can go stand in front of the monitor with Kathy.
What do you? Oh, hold on.
There's no photos are really.
Oh,
I have some notes I wanted to read from.
Okay.
So, yeah. Kathy's experience in all her school district administration has really helped town council. You might not see it here at the table, but she was instrumental in hiring our new town manager. She led that committee. We got it done in record time and we got a great person. She helped us thoroughly with our union negotiations, whether that's with the police or that's an extension with the Teamsters. Again, your value to that was just extraordinary. You have a real innate sense for people, how to read them, what's important to them. That really added some depth and perspective to all of us. So we thank you for your time. We appreciate it. I was great serving with you, and yeah, Congratulations. So. Very good.
And Mike, we can't forget about you. So if you want to stand up, you can hold this now.
Okay.
Nice little thing. But I'd like to say a couple things, which is, you have served as council president this year. You've served for almost 4 full years. We appreciate the service you given to the people of McCandless. I'd say you bring a calmness to what can sometimes be a political experience that we really appreciate. And you bring a lot of experience to making this place run like a business in a good way. And I just want to thank you for giving me a chance to be here. And, I appreciate all your time. You've served the town of McCandless many hours past the little bit of money you get each month to be here. So thank you very much.
Okay. Very good. This is also the last meeting of this town council. I wanted to thank the outstanding members that I serve with on council. The staff, the administrative staff we have, some are here tonight. Our amazing road crew, our amazing administrators that help you guys succeed. Our amazing police. We have a great town, guys. We have a good thing. Let's keep it going. I guess we'll say that for the next the next council. I wrote a few things down that we accomplished in the past 2 years. We hired a new town manager. We completed our police negotiations successfully. We extended our road crews contract. We got through 2 budgets with surpluses and no tax increase for 19 years in running. We provided the first in funding for the ambulance authority. We took 2 years to revise our zoning code and our zoning ordinances. Hired police officers, promoted police officers, onboarded 3 new council members for those that moved outside of our town. We appointed leadership to revitalize the heritage. And we also got new leadership in place to revitalize the ambulance authority. We got 2 new fire trucks, dozens of new developments in our town. And why is that? Because we all work together and we're all neighbors. So I want to thank all of you that I served with. Thank all of you that the dozen or so regulars that come every time. We appreciate your input too. So that's what I have to say. Is there any public comment on non-agenda items before we adjourn? Seeing none. Marianne, I'm sorry. Please.
That's okay, Mike. I'm sorry I'm not there. I really am, but I'm glad I was able to zoom in. Thank you for that. Mike, I want to echo your comments. This has been a great board to work with. I did work for the governor, worked with a lot of interesting people, and none of them surpassed the congeniality and give and take of this board. It was really a pleasure. And I can't say enough about our town manager. He's leading McCandless in the right direction. He's easy to work with. He's pleasant and he's responsive. So thank you, Brian and your team. And thank you everyone on council. It was indeed a pleasure to get to know you.
Thank you, Marianne. Okay, any public comment? No, seeing none. Meeting's adjourned.